So hello दोस्तों, today we will talk about one important international institution, that is International Monetary Fund, that is IMF. And IMF becomes important because UPSC has been consistently asking questions about IMF's financial mechanism, IMF's institutional mechanism, right? So from that perspective, IMF becomes very important to us, right? So little bit of historical background, that IMF was established in 1944 along with World Bank in a Bretton Woods conference, right? So remember this fact. Again, why was this institution established? Because world was in a Great Depression since 1930 and there was World War. After that World War, economies were grappling with economic downturns and Europe was totally destroyed, even Japan was totally destroyed. So in order to support these economies, this institution came to life. Again, USA wanted to integrate world economy into one system also. So that was also another reason why this institution came to life. So but this is not what makes this lecture important, because we are going to learn some important funding mechanisms, some important structuring mechanism of IMFs that have been asked in UPSC Prelim, right? So let us start. So we will learn about the quota. So quota is basically resources that member countries provide to IMF, right? So when a member country subscribe to IMF provides some quota to member countries in the form of SDR. So IMF gives SDR to member countries and member countries give money to IMF. Again, there is a subscription fee. Remember, there is a subscription fee to become member of the IMF, right? So this way IMF mobilizes its resources. So that's the way IMF gets money, right? So but not everyone gets the same amount of quota. The quota is depend upon the country's relative position in the world economy. So if your country is bigger, it will be assigned a bigger quota, right? So and the quota is revived every 5 years. India has got around 2.75% of the quota. China has got around 6.41% of the quota, since Chinese economy is bigger than India. Again, this quota power determines the voting power. Bigger is the quota, bigger is the voting power. Again, the greater quota means you have greater access to the finances from the IMF in case of financial exigencies, in case of balance of payment crisis. So you will get more finances from the IMF, right? Next is SDR. So SDR is not a currency. Remember this fact, because these facts can be asked in prelims. So it is called as a reserve assets whose value depends upon 5 currencies such as dollar, euro, yen, pound sterling, renminbi, Chinese renminbi, right? And allocation of quota depend upon member countries' position in the world economy, right? So bigger is the economy, bigger is the quota assigned to. Again, these SDR are interest bearing assets. So the countries holding SDR also receive assets around 4 to 5%. So this is about SDR. So remember the fact that SDR is not a currency. Rather, it is a claim on freely available currency such as dollar, euro, yen, and pound sterling. Now let us talk about reserve transposition. So reserve transposition is a claim basically, and it is the amount that member nation can withdraw from the IMF in case of there is a balance of payment mismatch or balance of payment temporary crisis. So around 25% of the SDR can be drawn without any charges, without any interest. So if you are exceeding this amount, it becomes a credit tranche. Remember, reserve transposition becomes credit transposition if the 25% of the SDR reserves, more than 25% of the SDR reserve is withdrawn. So we have SDR, and out of the SDR 25% is considered as a reserve transposition, which can be withdrawn from the IMF in case of financial exigencies, in case of temporary mismatch in balance of trade, right? So that time we can withdraw this money without paying interest rate. So this question was asked in UPSC PYQs. Remember this. So reserve transposition becomes very important. Now next is poverty reduction and growth trust. Now the next is PRGT. PRGT is the poverty reduction and growth trust. So this is a trust. What it does is basically it provides free loan or very low interest loan to low income countries. Remember, it provides free or low interest loan to low income countries. Basically it gives loan to low income countries. So how does it get money? It borrows money from the advanced economies, right? It borrows money from the advanced economy at market rates, but it provides loan to LICs, that is low income countries, at below market rate, right? So it bears the cost of providing low interest rate loan to the low income countries. Then why these loans are used? These loans are used to support the economic programs in the low income countries, because the PRGT is financing. It means it will attract the program will attract fund from the donors, development institutions or private sector. So PRGT's objective was to fund programs in low income countries, such as dealing with high inflation, dealing with persistent food insecurity, increasing debt risk of the low income countries, and high borrowing cost for the low income countries. Because of that, low income countries cannot finance its developmental program or economic programs, right? For that purpose, this window is opened by the IMF. Now next is rapid credit finance or rapid credit facility. So this financial instrument is available to low income countries and middle income countries, right? And the developing countries which are facing short term liquidity needs, right? Short term liquidity needs in terms of balance of payment crisis. So loan size up to 100% of the country's quota. So whatever the quota assigned to the that country, so that amount till that amount can be withdrawn as a loan. So disbursement speed means how many days it will take to disburse the loan. So it will be disbursed within days or weeks, because short term liquidity needs को पूरा करना है, तो loan will be disbursed in weeks or days. And there is a limited conditionality focuses on addressing immediate balance of payment problems. Usually IMF loans comes with conditionalities, right, to bring some structural reform, to bring tax reform, to bring custom liberalization reform, like that. So rapid credit facility comes with a very less conditionality. Next is a rapid financing instrument. So this rapid financing instrument is available to short-term liquidity needs of the short-term liquidity need, and that is stemming from exceptional exogenous shocks. What is exceptional exogenous shocks? Such as Russia-Ukraine war, such as oil crisis happening right now, such as right in the Red Sea. So loan size can be 50% of the country's quota. So remember, loan size can be up to the 50% of country, and disbursement speed is within days or weeks, because it has to deal with short-term liquidity needs, right? And there is a limited conditionality, because exogenous shocks are not depend on countries structurally problem, right? So there is a limited conditionality while disbursing this loan. Now let us talk about another important funding mechanism, post catastrophe debt relief mechanism. So this mechanism deals with providing debt relief to low income countries hit by catastrophic disasters. So right, so when the low income countries are hit by the catastrophic disaster, their ability to pay debt becomes very less, right? Or they may fail to pay their debt. So in that case, this financial facility becomes important to low income countries, and it grants to cover debt services to IMF for up to 3 years. And disbursement speed is within weeks or months, right? Because they have to pay their loans, and no conditionally attached, because it was needed when countries hit by the catastrophe, such as cyclones, earthquake. Now next is resilience and sustainability facility. I would like to stress here, because this may be asked in prelims, and it looks like this is funding mechanism from the World Bank, because World Bank deals with sustainability and resilience. But no, this funding facility is provided by the IMF, and it is a longer term concessional financing to low income developing countries. And this finance is long, it's not a short term, it's long term, because it has to deal with the sustainability, right? Because this funding facilities are available to those countries which are facing problems from the climate change and fragility, right? And loan size can be up to 145% of the country's quota, right? And it is a flexible disbursement, it has flexible disbursement, because it is a long term loan. It can be disbursed in flexible time from 1 to 4 years, right, in trans. And conditionality, definitely there has to be some conditionality. Is a long term loan and disbursed slowly, because it will be conditional loan, basically to build resilience and address the underlying cause of the crisis. So right, this loan comes with the conditionality. Next is a standby arrangement. Now this loan is provided for the medium term financial assistance to member countries facing balance of payment problem. So this is a medium term loan, and those countries will be even low income countries and advanced countries will be able to available this window when they are facing balance of payment problem. So loan size can be up to 200% of the country's quota, and it can be disbursed gradually over 3 to 4 years in a slow speed. So definitely this loan comes with a conditionality, because it has to deal with the balance of payment problem, and IMF evaluates the reason why the country is facing balance of payment problem, right? So this funding facility comes with a conditionality. Next is a precautionary and liquidity line, and this precautionary and liquidity line is basically to given to help prevent or mitigate potential liquidity crisis, right? So this is a precautionary. So it is assumed that if there is a problem coming ahead, then this facility is open for those countries, and the loan is up to 200% of the country's quota, and it has flexible disbursement schedule, but with a limited conditionality. Now the last important funding mechanism is a global food shock window, and this is also important because you might get confused, because this mechanism is also provided by the IMF. You might get confused between the IMF and World Bank, but this is not given by the World Bank, this is given by the IMF. So why this mechanism open? Because those countries who are facing food shock because of the global volatility in food supply chains. So in order to fund the countries who are facing acute food insecurity, due to increased cost of cereals and fertilizer imports, right? Due to why? Because there were Russia-Ukraine crisis at that time, and supply chains were badly hurt. So because of that, this window was open in order to fund the countries who are facing acute food insecurity, right? So this was all about IMF. I hope you like this lecture, right? And if you're liking this lecture, please subscribe, and please hit the like button. Do subscribe, guys, because it will motivate me to bring more lectures in this series, right? So thank you.